I try to go for a walk at my local park just about every day, and pretty frequently I end up reaching for one of these Ely Cattleman Pro shirts to do it. The reason I like these shirts so much is pretty simple. They fit well, I like the way they look, and they're affordable. These are currently $37.99, and I already knew that that was a really nice price, but that was reinforced recently when I went to the mall and was looking around and found some other shirts that I like from other brands, and they were anywhere from $150 to $200. And I don't think a lot of us can really do that right now. So just super cool that they make some quality shirts for a reasonable price. Now, one aspect I definitely need to cover is the sizing. If you want a more traditional or somewhat slimmish fit for these, you definitely should go one size down from your normal. If you do want the extra space for, range of motion, if you're going to really be, casting a fishing line or, whatever, you might want that extra space. I am not quite doing that sort of thing. I am going for these walks, and, I'm sure I'm moving around some, but not quite that much. So I like the look of the slimmer style. I will say, when you do go down a size, for me, the arms fit well and everything else, the shoulders, great, but it is a little trimmer on the midsection. So just be aware, I am a 5'10", about 185-ish. And I will admit that if I've had a meal or something, I might kind of feel it in the middle of this shirt. But otherwise, it fits me pretty well. And yeah, there's just a little tip. Because definitely for me, the large, which is what I would normally wear, it was really poofy. The sleeves are definitely more space and longer than I need for general day-to-day stuff. So, just take that for what it's worth, and, hopefully you can make the right choice on that one. But hey, you can also get these from Amazon with the free returns. So, it's not a big commitment and problem. You can just run down to your local Whole Foods and dump it off if it's not the right one. What separates the Pro model from the standard ones are the vented yoke sections right here. It's not super noticeable all the time, but I definitely have been standing in just the right angle for the wind where it blows through those things, and you can really feel it. But I'm sure even just walking around with that open spot for the air to get into, it's probably a more subtle ventilation type of thing. I haven't worn my standard Ely Cattleman shirt out to walk around in too much, because I kind of reserve that for some wedding work, so I don't have a direct comparison of how cool it feels in one versus the other, but I know that it's doing something. I've had two of the Pro model shirts for at least a year, I think, and so far they look the same as the day I got them, which is pretty impressive, for the $37.99 price tag. I really, you can't expect them to last forever, but I don't know, I might be surprised in the end. I don't have any fading marks, scuff marks, abrasion stuff, anything like that. And I've got some shirts that I've worn for exclusively wedding work, never mind walking through the woods, that have shown more wear in the same or less time. While this blue one does have some pretty obvious vents going on, I have a striped version where it's rather unnoticeable. And it looks kind of sharp enough that, you could wear it to, a first date at a bar or whatever, and just, running around town doing errands. You look maybe a little sharper than you would, at least, compared to a normal t-shirt or even a polo shirt. And but it's also ready to go out and go for a hike or go fishing. So I just really like that these things are both affordable and versatile. Just keep the sizing in mind. And other than that, if you've been thinking about giving one a shot, I'd say go for it.